Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the world climatic zones. Many students asked doubt in this concept, and yesterday I told while revising the continents through maps, if you have the conceptual clarity in the climatic classification chart, then you can fit the chart to any continent. I said right, but many students asked the doubt in the chart itself. Okay. So now I do explain the world climatic zones clearly. Okay, it is very easy to understand actually. If you have the basic knowledge of the latitude, then it is very easy to understand. It is 0 degree equator, and up to we divide like this 10-degree latitude, and then here 30-degree latitude, and then 45-degree latitude, and then 60-degree latitude, then 90-degree latitude. Okay, so these are the important latitudes, and here we are going to divide the middle portion into 3. Remember this. Here we divide this into 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is western part, middle part, eastern part, the 3 sections. Okay, then the 0 to 10 degree is equatorial type. Up to 5 degree to 5 degree we take it as equatorial zone, but the climatic pattern extends up to the 10 degree latitude. So this is up to 0 degree, we take it as hot and wet equatorial type climate. Okay, equatorial type climate. So this region receives rainfall throughout the year, that we know. Okay, so throughout the year the region has rainfall and the temperature also. That's why it is called as hot, wet equatorial type climate. Okay, now this region here, the 10 to 30 degree. Here we know that the trade wind blows in this direction, right? So here the trade wind blows in this direction. So remember it. The trade wind is in the eastern part. It is from sea to land. Okay, consider this as the land, and either side sea. So now the trade wind blows from sea to land in this side, and here land to sea. Okay, so here it is offshore wind, and here it is onshore wind, right? So in the onshore wind side, it will be wet. The climate will be wet, and in the offshore wind, land to sea, so it is dry region. Okay. So in the western part here, 10 to 30 degree, so it is called as desert type. Okay, desert type climate. The desert will be mostly located here, and here in the onshore wind, the rainfall regions, it is monsoon type. Okay, monsoon type. Okay, then you may raise a question that in India, the western side has southwest monsoon, eastern side has northeast monsoon. Both the region has monsoon type. But here we are studying about the large zones, okay, like continents. Okay, so if you consider the Asian continent, India, Southeast Asia are in the eastern part, like that. So those have the monsoon type, and Arabia, those western side has dry part, right, desert type. And here in the India, other one phenomenal changes will also occur, that is the change of the directions of the wind also. So so that is the monsoon concept. Let us discuss this now simply. Okay, so here it is offshore desert type, here monsoon type, onshore. Okay, and in between here heavy rainfall, and here very scanty rainfall. So in between it will be moderate. Okay, so it is semi-arid, it will be semi-arid region. Okay, so here it is wet, it is semi-arid, it is arid region. Okay, so here it is savanna type or Sudan type, it is called as. Okay, the tropical grassland regions, okay, savanna type climate, or otherwise called as Sudan type climate. it is. Okay, that's all. Then here in the 30° to 45°. Okay, so here 30° to 45° in the western part, it is Mediterranean climate. And we know that the Mediterranean region is located in this latitude. Here, Mediterranean type climate. Okay, and here 30 to 45°, it is China type climate. Okay, so here also this region receives rainfall in winter season. So here the winter rain occurs. Okay, I will explain how it is. And here also the rainfall occurs during summer seasons here too. Okay, then here in the monsoon type and in the China type, here in summer and winter rainfall occur. Okay, here it is semi-arid region, it is dry region. Here it is winter rainfall. Okay, here in the in-between region, here wet region and here almost relatively dry region. So in between it is. So it is temperate region. So this region is steppe type climate. Okay, steppe temperate grassland type. Okay, so it is tropical grassland type. It is temperate grassland type. Okay, then the 45 to 60 here. This climate region is called as British type climate. Okay, British type climate. So it also receives rainfall throughout the year. I will explain it is how. Then you can remember this zone very simply. Okay, and here it is Laurentian type climate. Laurentian type climate. Here also it is wet. Okay, and in between this is it is almost cool temperate zone. Okay, the 30 to 60° is temperate zone, and it is 30 to 45 is warm temperate, and 45 to 60 is cold temperate. Okay, so here it is central type. The vegetation type will be coniferous forest, evergreen coniferous. Okay, so in between, in the middle part, all the regions are relatively dry. Here savanna, tropical grassland, steppe, temperate grassland region, and then coniferous central type. Okay, and then the 60 to 90 is the polar type tundra vegetation pattern. Tundra. Okay. Clear? And this is taiga type coniferous. Yes. Okay. So this is the world climatic zone. Okay, so here we explained that why it is desert type and why it has the rainfall, that is due to trade wind, right? Here in the Mediterranean region, the winter rain occurs, and in the summer it is dry. Okay, and recently in many places of the Mediterranean type climatic regions like California, southwestern Australian part, and in Chile region, the forest fire occurred. Right, so that those regions are relatively very dry in summer and wet in winter. So those regions have Mediterranean type climate. Okay, so I will explain how it is. Okay, now if you consider, I will explain other one concept, then you can understand this chart simply. We know that it is equator, Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer, or otherwise you take it as 30° north and 30° south. And we know that it is high pressure region, and equator is low pressure region, and it is high pressure zone. And the trade wind from the high pressure to low pressure, that is from the subtropic to equator, it blows in these directions like this. And the convergence region in equator is called as ITC, intertropical convergence zone. Here it converges. The low pressure exactly occur in the equator on March and September month, that we know, right? March and in the September month. In March 21st and in the September 23rd, the vertical sun rays fall on equator. Right. So the low pressure exactly will lie on the equatorial zone. Now, in June month, what will happen? The ITC set gradually will move towards north, near to Tropic of Cancer, and almost in the North Indian part. Okay, in the monsoon type, we study about it. Okay, here now ITC set shifts to the north here. Okay, now what happens? Now the wind here, just listen this. Okay, now ITC set will be almost here. Here. So the trade wind from the south, it has to come towards this low pressure zone, because this low pressure zone shift to the north in June month. Okay, so in June month, the ITC set from the trade wind from the south has to reach this low pressure region, and while crossing equator, due to Coriolis force, it turns to the right and fills this region, and actually it has become a southwest monsoon to us. Okay, now let us come to this concept. Okay, so now due to the shift of this belt, this north trade wind belt also shift here, right? So now the north trade wind comes in this spot. Okay, because the entire wind belt shift here, so this belt has become like this, 30, 0, 30. Now compare these two. Okay, the belt has shifted to the north. Okay, so that's why it occurs in June month, right? Summer month, northern hemisphere summer month. So in the summer month, what happens? The trade wind actually shifts to the north, and in this part, the Mediterranean region is located. Okay, the western part, Mediterranean part. So for the Mediterranean part, the wind becomes offshore, land to sea, during summer month. Okay, and in the eastern part, it becomes onshore, the China type. Okay, so the onshore, it gets rainfall, and the offshore Mediterranean becomes dry. Right, so it happens, and the westerlies will be blow here in this part. So in the 45 to 60 regions will be onshore, obviously. Okay, so now during the winter season, now in the northern hemisphere winter, this ITC set will shift gradually towards the south here. Now equator, 30 degrees south, 30 degree north. Now ITC set shifts to the south here, shift to the south, and the northern trade wind now shifts here. The entire wind belt shifts here to the south. The planetary winds shift to the south. Okay, now what happens? Now the trade wind, northern trade wind shifts to the south here. Okay, it will go like this because of the Coriolis force, and the southern trade wind will be here, shift to the south, and the westerlies now blows in this direction here, here, right? So now what happens? Just to see. So here in the 45 degree Mediterranean zone, now the Mediterranean zone has onshore wind, right, and gets rainfall in the winter season. So in the northern hemisphere, in the winter season, due to the shift in westerlies towards south, here the wind becomes onshore and the Mediterranean heads rainfall. That's why in summer the Mediterranean gets dry, no rainfall. So summer dry Mediterranean due to the shift of the belt here, and winter wet. Okay, wet winter. Okay, those regions are the Californian regions, Chile in South America, and South African region, southwestern South Africa, and then the southwestern Australia. In all continents, the southwestern part of the temperate regions will have Mediterranean type climate, summer dry and wet winter. Okay, that's all. So that's why this region has. But the British type climate always will have rainfall here and here also. So throughout the year it has the rainfall. Okay, because of the permanent westerly wind in that direction. Okay, that question was asked in this year prelims. The annual temperature range is small, and then um, throughout the year the rainfall occurs, and the rainfall varies between 50 to 250 centimeters. Only three statements have been given. Okay, so it is the marine west coast climate. Okay. So this is now you can simply remember that 0 degree hot and wet equatorial type climate and up to 10 degree, and then the 10 to 30, 30 to 45, 45 to 60 is divided into 3, and then 60 to 90 is taken as 1. So 45, 30, 10. The central part will always be dry. So here savanna, Sudan, and here steppe, temperate grasslands, and here central type, central continental type, coniferous forest, those. And here desert type due to offshore trade wind, and monsoon type due to onshore trade wind, and due to shifting trade wind, the China type gets rainfall, and then the Mediterranean type here. So it is dry in summer due to shifting the wind belt, and British type climate always having rainfall, and Laurentian type climate having rainfall. And here it is tundra, the polar type. Okay, so this region and this region will have very scanty rainfall, very less rainfall. Okay, and these regions will have semi-arid region, okay, moderate, and this region has winter rainfall. Okay, and this is both summer and winter rainfall. Okay, and here it is summer rainfall. Okay, so this region, these regions have abundant rainfall. Okay, a high rainfall, and this region has abundant rainfall here. Okay, so this is the world climatic classification zones. So thus you can compare this chart with any continent in the world. Let us see the continents one by one. Last day we discussed Africa, then we will discuss North America. Then if you understand this concept clearly, then you can fit this chart to any continent, and you can understand the climate of any continent in the world simply. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please comment. If you need any other video to understand any geographical concept or environmental part, please comment below. Thank you all.